So again, our emphasis is it's not what you make, it's what you keep. And zero is your hero.
Zero is
We
your
love to,
hero.
hey, we love to protect on the downside. We'll hit.
Hey, this is Peter Anthony. We are with the Utah Business Spotlight, and I am with one of my dearest friends, the coolest guy on the planet. You see him all over social media. He is making people tons of money. My friend Curtis Marsh. Listen, like, subscribe, share. Welcome to the Utah Business Spotlight. Curtis, it is great to see you, man.
Great to see you, Peter, as always, my friend.
I know, brother. You are killing it for people. Last month over Christmas, you were telling me what you were doing at the end of the year, all those really cool, crazy tax strategies that you were implementing for your clients, and I thought that was cool. Now you're doing other cool stuff. Tell everybody, where can they find you? Where can they find information about your company? Because you're helping people become wealthy in a different way than traditional save more, spend less.
Yeah, thanks, Peter. I appreciate that. Our firm, I've been in business since 1986, and so I've learned and seen a lot during that time period. I started my career with two major Wall Street firms, Merrill Lynch and Shearson Lehman Brothers, and then worked with several major firms on Wall Street over the years. Started Capital Growth Management in 2006, and based on my experiences and the things I saw, I thought, how do we stand out? How do we make ourselves different? We strive to create guaranteed retirement income. That's our main goal. People can accumulate a lot of wealth.
Guaranteed retirement income. I love that.
Yeah, it's a strategy that we use through different products, different hedging strategies, indexing, because we can create a high net worth, but if there's not a paycheck and a play check coming in during retirement.
Play checks, I like
paychecks
that.
and play checks, then what do you really have? We've had clients who are worth a lot of money, but there's not an income coming in. And we all know what inflation's done over the last
it's devalued
2 or 3 years.
Right?
Oh, yeah. Inflation's always there. It's a silent killer. But I think every single one of us, it used to be so silent you wouldn't see it. You would see the cost of goods and services maybe go up. And last year it was like 5 cents cheaper. But, man, inflation has really hit it's hit everybody. Middle America, high income, high net worth individuals. It doesn't discriminate. And so, look at healthcare, for example. Healthcare costs for seniors, retirees, individuals like you and I who are still in the workplace, up 30%. And so we strategize to protect clients on the downside. You can go to our website, which is cgmwealthadvisors.com. That's a basic place to find us. Or you can contact me through LinkedIn. Follow us and our company there, Facebook. But we basically protect clients on the downside.
Got it.
And create that guaranteed retirement income stream that they can't outlive.
Right, and here's the importance of that, right? Because you've got the baby boomers and you've got Gen Xers right behind there. The baby boomers are doing okay, Gen Xers are doing okay, and then right behind them you've got another wave of people who are in their 40s, and you're looking, you're saying, man, like this is getting serious. People are not excited to work 40, 50, 60 years, to have to work. And even if they do work, they need a little set aside because I don't mind working, but I don't want to not play.
Right.
Like I want to work, but I'd like to go play. And if playing means like I'd like to spend 2 months a year in Florida, I'd like to be able to go on a vacation. I don't want my kids to have to take care of me. There's a lot of different reasons why putting that money away and getting it to really earn and work for you is so important. I love that that's the approach that you're taking, and you're doing it with vehicles that are, some of the vehicles are very conventional. I mean, I know you have this really great hybrid of vehicles, but some of them are really innovative and really, really cool. And I love that too. So when you're, for your high net worth clients, you're doing some cool stuff.
Yeah. And taxes. That's
Yeah.
what we were talking about.
The
end of
tax
year.
strategies,
And
we love great tax strategies.
well, there's everybody. We all pay taxes, and there's some benefits to do that.
Mm-hmm.
There's also some rules in place that you can take advantage of tax strategies. They're legal. They're on the books. People don't really. They do their prep and file, but they don't really look deep into the actual tax strategies that you can implement to knock off. There's 5 basic risks to retirement. Inflation, we talked about. Taxes are another one. Both kind of silent killers. One hits you really hard at the end of the year when you're paying your taxes. So if we can eliminate that, that's just more money
It's
working
available.
hard for you.
Yeah.
And it's they're legal strategies.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a success story that you've had, right? A very short success story, and then we'll go into someone who wanted to sign with you but didn't, and their failure story, right? And you don't have to. Obviously, we're not going to use names, but a great success story, based on one of these cool tax strategies, would be wonderful for our audience.
There's a lot of them.
I like this cool. I don't know if you can mention it, but you mentioned a cool one right before Christmas that you were doing with these cool documents.
Right. Okay. So we have high net worth clients. We work with our firm works with middle America up to the high net worth, and we have different teams and strategies for each, because I feel that everybody needs financial guidance. Investment strategies, wealth accumulation, distribution, and tax strategies. The ones that I was sharing with you, we have access to some historical documents. They're historical documents that document, a lot of the western region, a lot of the mining, the Bamberger family, which brought the railroad out this way.
So you have access to this wealth of stored historical documents.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, they're downtown Salt Lake in a museum there of art, and there's a tax strategy that's been on the books for as long as the tax code's been around, that you can buy historical documents, significantly historical documents, and you purchase them, and then they are donated to, for example, we donate to the University of Utah and to UNLV. And what it does for our clients is that they're able to purchase these documents, okay? And let's say they purchase them at $25,000. Well, they have about a 4x appreciation or value, I should say, when they're donated to the university.
So I buy it for $25,000.
Correct.
I donate it to the university for $100,000 value of my donation.
You got it.
So I immediately see an ROI on my investment of 300%.
Yep.
I donate it, and I get 100% tax benefit on the donation.
Yeah.
So I buy it for 25. I give it to them. It's worth 100. They give me a tax credit for $100,000. I reduce my taxes by $100,000. If I'm in the right tax bracket, that was the 25 I just spent, and I'm good.
Yeah, and if you like, it's a charitable deduction. The University of Utah, UNLV, they love these documents because they're finding more out about some of the mining that went on here. They're great for these universities. So you're giving back that way, and you're also getting a charitable contribution deduction.
Yeah. So the university gets to use it.
Right.
It gets to be moved to a university, which means it's going to be safe and sound. It's going to live in perpetuity. So that's what we want to leave for the generations behind us.
Yeah, for sure.
The records. And you get this incredible benefit of reducing your taxes by $100,000.
Right.
So you're paying so much less. So that might even drop you a bracket, and you're going to not have to pay the 25 that you had to pay. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, it's been a great strategy for us, and this year we had so much interest in it. It's a good conservative strategy. People like the fact that it's going to a charity.
Now you're also on the donor list for 2 major universities, which offers you access to the universities, right? Because you're going to
Yeah.
they're going to keep asking you for donations.
Right,
I've
right.
sat on many of those boards.
Oh, yeah.
And that's our job, is to get you to donate more and more money or more stuff. So then you're meeting other people,
Yeah.
and your network increases exponentially. So it's just a win-win all the way around.
It's been beautiful for us.
It was wonderful to talk to you about that, and I was so enamored with it. And then the interesting part is that obviously all of the documents themselves that you own for a hot minute. That's really cool too, and it just works in perpetuity. So now that's a great win.
Yeah, we should take you down to we'll have lunch one day, and I'll take you down to
I'm in.
where they're at. Okay.
Now tell me, because there's a lot of guys out there like me who wait till the last minute, and then on January 1st, they're like, I should have done these things, but I didn't. And I'm a naughty boy.
You're the only one, Peter.
I'm the only one who's a hot train wreck. But tell us, like, first tell us that, because you probably retain a lot of clients who didn't think they were ready for it, get burned, then they come and say, Curtis, can you help me this year? Because last year I got hammered.
Yeah, that's part of the relationship we have with our clients. We have a strategic network of not only clients but also CPA partnerships. About 80% of our tax strategy business comes from CPAs who just do the prep and file. So it's about keeping in contact with a client. That's the important thing. Anybody can do a transaction for an individual, but we really like to engage and integrate with our clients. There's a lot of connection points that we have. We're involved in a lot of charities that we get our clients involved with. So we continue to make sure that they know the advantage of getting in before the deadlines, and it makes our life a lot easier too.
Yeah.
And we offer some incentives to working with an attorney right now who pushed the deadline a little too far last year, but we were able to work with him
and figure it out.
Yeah, and we got him taken care of. But
it's interesting. The more there's such a huge difference between strategists and accountants.
Sure.
And everybody who owns a business, you should be looking for strategists because you can find accountants, right? Anybody can put the numbers where they belong. But what you really need is a strategist who's planning it out, because you want to take the greatest level of advantage of pay the least as you can in taxes,
right,
and get the most you can in credit, right? These are the things that are so important to entrepreneurs, because entrepreneurs, you don't realize this until you're in your 60s and you're looking at your Social Security. I've been self-employed my whole life, so I haven't paid a lot of money into Social Security. So I don't have Social Security coming in the format of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 a month. I have savings, and I have the things that I've put in place, and then what you see is a big hustle from 58 to 65 to try to make up time, and you can't make up compounding interest.
No, it's tough to do. And we start educating. That's why when I first got in the business, I was 23, and I was going into corporations, and they would only let me see the people that were about 5 years from retirement. I was doing seminars, educational seminars, and I said, look, it's too late. If they're 5 years from retirement and they haven't done anything, there's still things that you can do, but you obviously lose the time value of money, compounding interest, returns. And so we try to take, I go into colleges to speak, to try to get people just even establishing a savings plan of some sort. So we work with a variety. And going back to your question on the CPAs, they're always needed. They're amazing professionals. They are worth every penny that they make. But if you want strategy, most of your tax preparation people, CPAs or tax preparers, just do prep and file. We come in and we have about 7 different tax strategies that will help clients mitigate. And so that's why we get about 80% of our referrals from other CPAs.
I love it, man.
We are not CPAs ourselves, so we're not trying to take that business from them, but
No.
we work side by side with them.
Yeah,
And actually
good
pay them.
strategists
Yeah.
do. You know, everybody in
Strategic
their,
partnerships, that's what
yeah.
it's all about.
And everybody in their life, everybody needs in their life, especially in this moment in history, with so many self-employed people, you need that time in your life
Right.
to find the people who have financial strategies, because the differentiation between success and failure is your peer group, right? Is the input, the daily
True.
input. So
True.
I love hanging out with you because I learn so much.
Likewise.
You know, it's
Thank you.
just really cool, you know, to like that one strategy you just shared, like these document strategies. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'd rather pay $25,000, emancipate those documents, move them to a university that's interested and get the tax deduction.
Yep.
It's still costing me money.
You're going to pay it anyway.
You're
It's
going to
just
pay it anyway.
The appraised value is.
Yeah, but the idea is like, oh, that could be really cool,
Right.
you know? So it's just really neat how you do what you do. And when I believe, and you can tell me how you feel about this, you know, when you start thinking financial strategies,
Mm-hmm.
because that's what you're focused on, you're going to find more financial strategies. And if you start implementing these financial strategies and testing them for yourself, you're going to build your net worth, right? And in your case, it's your net worth and your network, which is exponential difference.
Right.
But, you know, if you're focused on your hobby, let's say your hobby's camping, right? You're going to find more spots to camp, but you're not going to find more money to do it.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and you need to have that balance.
For sure.
You know, and our good friend Jeff Flam is in owns the Zenith
Sure.
Mastermind. He's always talking about the
Know
balance
Jeff well.
wheel and,
Right.
and the idea of making sure all these things are in place so that you can move forward, because it can unravel fast.
Oh, yeah. And that's why we've seen our clients through a lot of down markets. I got in the business, like I mentioned, in 1986. And the Dow, just to kind of give you an idea, the Dow was at 2,400. The next year, October of 1987, we had a day that was down 508 points. That was a 25% drop. People say 508 points, that's nothing. In percentages, it's nothing today where the Dow is. But that protection on the downside is really what has saved us with clients. 2008, in recent memory, clients lost 40%. You know, the markets just got hit hard in 2008, and it takes sometimes 7 to 10 years to recoup. So again, our emphasis is it's not what you make, it's what you keep. Mm-hmm. And zero is your hero.
Zero is
We
your
love
hero.
we love to protect on the downside. We'll plan and strategize for, you know, doubles and triples and singles with our clients. If they want to get real aggressive, we have a team that does that. But personally, I stay in that space and just protect them on the downside, because zero truly is your hero. And we can show you numbers about that all day long.
I love
That's
that, man.
a great, powerful tool.
What's the easiest way for young people to start learning about investing? Are there any great books that you've ever read? What's your advice to someone in their early 20s? Because again, you know, even the big boys are saying, yeah, concentrate on the people who already have the money. But what about the people who have never made any money? What should they be reading? What should they be focused on?
Well, there's a lot of great things out there, and with the internet and things today, it's just, you know, it's like you said earlier, make it a passion. And maybe not necessarily a passion, but make it part of that will. Finances, family, those things. The first book that my dad ever gave me, my dad worked at New York Life Insurance Company, and they were very big on training people and educating. And it was The Richest Man in Babylon.
Mm-hmm. Great book.
Yeah.
Ahmed Dino.
So that book was one of my first ones, and the basic principle of that was pay yourself first, right? Mm-hmm. So whatever you are making, pay yourself first. I mean, you don't work for the utility company. You don't work for the mortgage company. You don't work to pay that loan on your automobile.
Sure.
You should pay yourself first.
Yeah.
And
You've met my son Remington, right?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
So Remington, every year he has to read 6 to 7 books. And so he's read The Richest Man in Babylon, Think and Grow Rich,
Yeah.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And they all have a similar theme.
Correct.
Which is the pay yourself first theme. So when he was reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he asked me about what does pay yourself first mean? You know, and it's so I love those choices. So we're vibing on the same choice. So ultimately, I'm grateful. I'm
You're
thinking
doing good,
like
Peter.
a great mind.
Yeah, you're
you
doing
know,
great.
Right? So,
Good job, Remington.
Great job.
Yeah,
My son
and way to
is
go.
crushing
Way to
it.
teach him that. It's 10%, whatever. As little as 10%. If you were to take that and put that away, and put it into, there's a lot of different vehicles you can get into, but that simple discipline will do wonders. I show young kids. I've got a granddaughter. She's 6, and I ran some numbers just to show she doesn't understand it, but 10%, $25, $50. I mean, she's a millionaire in her early 20s.
Wow.
If you continue that strategy. So that discipline is what people sometimes lack, and there's a lot of instant gratification need in the world today.
Yeah, sure.
I want to put $10 in and have it turn to 100,000 by tomorrow.
Sure. Everybody thinks that they're finding the next Bitcoin.
Right.
And it's accident. I remember when they came to me in 2013, 14, started talking to me about Bitcoin, and one of the people I was working with who was renting space from me said, can I pay you in Bitcoin? And Bitcoin was trading at about $230 a coin.
Wow.
And I was like, well, I don't know what that is. And they explained it to me improperly, right? We took some, and, obviously the story. But I would never have known when I first heard about it. I only took it to help someone who I thought had no money.
Right.
And I didn't think it had any value.
Right.
And you don't really know. But then you hear that, and you don't hear about the 10,000 coins that have gone completely upside down and lost billions and billions, probably $1 trillion at this point, over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
Because, people thought it would be the next Bitcoin, or they thought it would be the next Yahoo, or they thought it would be the next Google, right? And so we chase a dream, but we only chase the dream after we see the dream. So I think your strategy is stronger, is putting the time, effort, and energy into learning where you want to put that 10%, where it's going to get the best compounding, safe, right? Because zero is your hero.
Right.
And I love that about the way you and your team invest. And plus, you're an amazing human, Curtis. You're an amazing human being.
Thank you, man.
You're so giving. So we're going to have one more thing I want to add. What's your favorite charity right now?
Oh man, we
Because
usually
you give a lot.
Yeah, we usually pick 3 that we work with at Capital Growth Management during the year. I'd say the Christmas Box House. So we're working with them, and they do a lot.
Christmas Box House.
Yeah, Richard Paul
Quick little
Evans.
shout out.
Yeah, they do a great job. I mean, there's a lot of great charities out there, and we usually will. A client could come to us and say, "Hey, this is a charity I'm involved in." That's one of the touch points that we have. What charities do you currently work with? And so that's how we keep our relationship on a real personal level with our clients. It's not just managing the money or showing tax strategy. We really want to get involved in that individual's life. So the Christmas Box House is one that we are taking on this year.
I love it, man. Well, good job. I'm super grateful that you made time for us today.
Buddy, it's good to see you, man.
This 30 minutes went like that. It's incredible. We
You
can
and
talk
I,
forever.
the gift of gab, yep.
Yep, I love it.
So great to see you. I appreciate all you're doing. I see so many good things coming from this particular podcast and
the
interview.
Business Spotlight's been great.
You guys do a fantastic job.
Thank you so much. And Utah's been great to us. God bless you. Like, subscribe, share. Find Curtis. Where can we find you? What's your website?
CGMWealthAdvisors.com.
CGM.
Capital Growth Management. CGMWealthAdvisors.com.
CGMWealthAdvisors.com. My friend Curtis Marsh. Reach out to him. Get it done.